people are interested in is growing strawberries because they're one of our nation's favourite fruits. And you can do this even if you don't have a garden, if you just have a balcony or a very small area. I've put these in a hanging basket. I usually grow them in the vegetable plot, but I'm very short of space this year. So I decided to uproot some plants out of the vegetable plot and put them in a hanging basket. And as you can see, I've inserted them in the various gaps around the hanging basket, and I've also lined it with moss to stop the soil coming out, and filled it with really good quality compost. And there's I've planted around all the planting holes, and there's about 5 plants in the top. This too will need to be kept well watered, because one of the downsides of growing in containers is that they do dry out more quickly. But hopefully in a few weeks this will come into flower and then into fruit. And the important thing to remember, apart from regular watering, is there's only one thing about strawberries, is that they are loved by the birds. And if this hanging basket goes outside, and undecided whether to leave it in the greenhouse or take it outside, depends on its pollination, it will need netting, because the birds will come down and eat it. And it's a bit of a shame to have all those lovely red strawberries to find them all gone the next day, because the birds have been feasting on them. There's berries out there for the birds without having our strawberries. So making a strawberry hanging basket is ideal. This basket may look a little bit unattractive because it's plastic and not very fancy, but actually it's a really good hanging basket because it's got a water reservoir in the bottom, and for something like strawberries where you want to make sure that they get enough water and you're not watering it all the time, this type of basket works very well. So we're talking about containers, just a few words. Here is the container that was in the April video, the strawberry container, and you'll see it's really grown on. It's grown on very well in the greenhouse. Now you might wonder why it has a paintbrush pointing out the side of it, and that's because I've tried an experiment where I've hand pollinated the strawberries flowers on this side where the paintbrush is, and I'm leaving them on that side for the pollinators coming into the greenhouse. Be interesting to see how it grows. Hand pollination with strawberries is quite easy, in the sense that there is on the outside the male parts of the flower and then inside the female. So what you're doing is giving it a bit of a brush so that the male parts are brushing over the female parts, and hopefully we get some pollination. You can do it by hand or do it by a paintbrush, and we'll see how that gets on in a couple of months' time.